This hardcore RPG is a strong contender on our best zombie games list thanks to its vast map and customizable sandbox. Project Zomboid is a hardcore RPG that you can enjoy solo or in a team. Set in a vast open-world map, you'll have to scavenge for loot, build a safe house, and farm for a better life. Despite its early access state, it's still a brilliant game to pass the time with. It has to be said that this game may not be for everyone. If you're someone who appreciates the little details and atmospheric tone, then this is something for you. However, if you don't appreciate walking around a humongous map for an hour from one town to the next, then you may want to look elsewhere.
No best zombies games list would be complete without Left 4 Dead 2. This old but iconic title has stood the test of time as one of the best options for fans of the undead genre to play. Left 4 Dead 2 can be played solo, but is best enjoyed in multiplayer, which can include up to 5 players for certain maps at a time. In a group, you'll have to make your way through several different maps as hordes of zombies rage and ravage their way towards you. While the smaller enemies can be killed easily with whatever firearms you'll find along the way, there are some more dangerous entities that'll take more time to kill. This can be either tanks, spitters, or hunters, all of which have an individual skill set. What's more, Left 4 Dead 2 has a vivid and lively modding community with some fantastic creations easily accessible to all players in Steam's workshop. Whether it's changing the appearance of enemies or playing through a shot-for-shot recreation of Resident Evil games, there's a ton of content for you to enjoy.
GTFO is frightening, thrilling, and action-packed. If you like zombie games full of chaos and gunfire, this is a fantastic option and one worth checking out. Trapped at a facility called the Complex, you and 3 other prisoners must complete your work order issued by the warden to escape. Unfortunately, this largely consists of monstrous zombie-like creatures who are fast as hell and quick to anger. Cutting through these hordes takes a lot of skill and patience, as running in head first may end up badly. GTFO requires a good deal of teamwork, as it's designed to put cooperation at the core of your experience. However, if getting a force stuck together consistently is too hard, then bots can make up 1 or 2 players. They will follow your lead exactly, going where you go and sneaking when you sneak, so be sure to set a good example.
If you never played Dead Rising when it first launched, the recent Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster is a great way to experience the cult classic. In Dead Rising, you star as Frank, a photographer looking for a story before being trapped in a shopping mall filled with the undead. From there, you're free to head out and explore, with the mall being a seriously fun sandbox to play around in. There's special weapons to find, bosses to take down, and some seriously wacky survivors to meet. The zombies are the star of the show here, appearing in large hordes that feel great to fight through. Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster is definitely one of the sillier entries on this list, one that's still as unique and innovative as it was when the original first came out. Dead Island 2 released earlier this year to a mixed reception, with many thinking that this was a cheap and uninviting sequel to a fun but admittedly 2D zombie experience. However, since then it has garnered some attraction. While gore should be and is a given in every zombie game, Dead Island 2 makes it a selling point, with some satisfying dismembering action and loads of blood, guts, and gore.
For those who enjoyed 2012's Black Ops 2 Zombies, you'll probably agree that the bus depot is so iconic a map that, for that alone, this title deserves a spot on our best zombie games list. Call of Duty Zombies is a brilliant series if you're a fan of grotesque violence and the gun-loving frenzy that Call of Duty is known for. The premise is simple. A group of soldiers, yourself included, have been sent on a mission to destroy an enemy facility. While scoping the place out, you're attacked by zombies and trapped within the building. If you find yourself at a loose end, then check out our Black Ops 2 Zombies guide. However, thanks to the variety of maps, you can easily enjoy this game mode without paying too much attention to the story. Simply, this is an adrenaline-boosting world of fun that can be enjoyed either by yourself or with friends.
In many ways, Call of Duty has helped keep the zombies genre alive over the years, especially Treyarch, who usually include a separate mode with each release. 2024's Black Ops 6 was a real return to form in that regard, with multiple zombies maps to take on, each with its own set of Easter eggs to uncover. Liberty Falls is a real standout, giving players a church, gas station, and small town to run around in. Zombies bore out of nests in the walls and can be chopped, shot, and blasted in whatever way you wish. Since launch, Treyarch has added additional zombies content, and thanks to the ability to pause and quit mid-round, Black Ops 6 Zombies really does feel like its own game. There's high scores to beat, abilities to unlock, and more secrets than you can shake a dismembered arm at. World War Z is perfect for those that want to experience the feeling of being truly overwhelmed by thousands of rampaging zombies. These aren't your classic slow, shambling corpses, instead matching the souped-up monsters from the movie. You'll need to set down traps, funnel enemies into position, and keep an eye on your ammo reserves as you fend off wave after wave of zombies. In terms of sheer excitement, World War Z is hard to beat. It's genuinely impressive to see just how many zombies can be on screen at once, making battles feel epic every time you load in.
The Last of Us Part 1 is a faithful remake of the original 2013 game. While some fans may not see the point of replaying a game as long as this one, the remake does offer some brilliant additions. There's more difficulty settings available for those who love to challenge themselves, as well as more accessibility options. Some of these include awareness indicators for the hard of hearing and traversal and combat audio cues as part of the Vision accessibility preset, making this title one of the most accessible on our best zombies games list. While the UI does leave something to be desired compared to the original, this title is specifically built for the PS5, and so shows off everything this next-gen console have to offer. Telltale really paved the way for a new wave of narrative-focused games when it launched back in 2012. What it does so well is adapting the brilliant source material into a story with mostly original characters. Lee and Clementine are the highlights, presenting a quasi-father-daughter bond in the face of overwhelming horror. Depending on your choices, certain characters will die, while others might become uneasy allies. Over 5 episodes, The Walking Dead stands out for its heart-wrenching story and one of the most memorable endings to a video game ever. In terms of gameplay, Telltale's The Walking Dead plays out like an interactive comic, with quick-time events and environmental puzzles making up the bulk of its runtime. It's the dialogue choices that really make the game sing, however, encouraging multiple playthroughs and some genuinely tense decision-making moments. Set just after the zombie apocalypse outbreak, you and a small community of survivors need to rebuild civilization, and you'll be the decision maker behind it all. While the first game is undoubtedly very fun, the sequel polishes a ton of imperfections that were present. Not only does the sequel abandon the comic book style in favor of something more realistic, but it also no longer penalizes players for inactivity. Previously, in State of Decay, if you weren't active for over 2 days, your in-game supplies would begin to dwindle. The second game is currently in a good state, with an improved structured experience with enjoyable story elements that lasts longer. The sequel has also been rebalanced, with most of the bugs having been fixed. Armed with a small selection of firearms and a knife or two, you have to infiltrate a remote Spanish village and kill off hordes of zombies during your mission to locate and rescue the president's daughter. It doesn't get better than this. Resident Evil 4 Remake may not be the scariest game in the long-running series, but it does include some of the best combat and boss fights. Getting to go one-on-one with undead villagers and nightmarish monsters is excellent fun, thanks to the
fast-paced action, smooth gun controls, and accessible melee attacks. If you're looking for a zombie game with great fights and an incredible narrative, then Resident Evil 4 should be high up on your list.
Capcom has been on a real roll lately, starting with 2019's Resident Evil 2, a remake of the original game. Everything from the combat to the story has been updated here, while keeping the atmosphere of the source material. The biggest change? Mr. X, a hulking bioweapon that'll stalk you all through the PlayStation and museum areas. He's unkillable and downright terrifying, elevating Resident Evil 2 above its peers. In terms of zombies, Resident Evil 2 takes things back to basics. Thanks to some genuinely impressive gore tech, these shambling enemies are scarier than ever, as you unload round after round attempting to take them down. As always, there's very little ammo to find, save points are few and far between, and there's more than one liquor to deal with over the course of the campaign. Would you have it any other way?